I'm going to be using cards from 2024 to today, which
Fun.
means modern day Yu-Gi-Oh!
Fun.
Alright?
Okay.
So I'm not gonna pull out Pots of Greeds or Graceful Charities or Fiber Jars, because every single other video has done that, and
Fun.
it might as well throw you into the deep end, because
Oh,
that sounds more funny.
oh boy.
These are going to be based on if they have ever actually done anything in a top event, not just that they showed up either at the very top or they showed up at all. Because
Okay.
if they showed up at all, that would include shit like Exodian. That would be dumb.
Okay.
Let's start with the very first card, shall we? I did say you can go ahead and read this card.
It's a Link monster. You came out swinging, huh? Okay.
I wanted the first one to be the biggest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Okay. Plus 3+ effect monsters. I don't even know what Link monsters work. You can
Don't worry, it'll be simple.
you
And I do promise it'll be simple.
you can only control one comic tree or Mistil each time your opponent special summons a monster face up during the main phase. You gain life equal to their attack. Once per turn, as a quick effect, you may pay life points in multiples of 1,000 up to a max of 3,000. This card gains that much attack.
So let me
Huh.
give you a little context so you can at least understand what's going on here.
Okay.
Link monsters are very, very easy when you get down to the basics, right?
Okay.
One Link rating is basically just one monster. So
Okay.
this Link 5 card, in essence, costs 5 monsters to create. Like your
Fun.
entire board if you want to get this.
Fun.
That's a lot of investment.
Yes, I can
The
tell.
reason it specifies 3+ effect monsters, however, is that per Link rating, that counts as an additional monster. So, for instance, this Link 5 monster here counts as 5 monsters in one when you want to Link summon with it. So, if I take this and any other monster, in essence, I could just go straight into a Link 6 because it counts as 5 plus 1, 6.
Okay. Okay.
So the whole point is 3+ effect monsters. I could use, say, the strategy this card is made for, a Link 3 monster, and then 2 other monsters to get this in one, as we would call that Link climbing. So you could summon this a little bit easier. In essence, though, it still requires an entire field's worth of material just to
Yeah.
get this out. So the arrows don't do anything. They
Okay.
do for other Link monsters, but because this is the last monster in your board, you can basically ignore the arrows.
Yeah.
All they do is point to monster zones, and then your Link monsters use those zones. This big guy is just going to sit in one place. He's not doing anything with those.
Huh. I've.
Oh, and quick effect, if I need to say, it's like instant speed for your game. You can
Okay.
activate quick effects at any time.
Okay. So yeah. Um. Hmm. I have heard that gaining life isn't as impactful in Yu-Gi-Oh as it is in Magic, so I'm not sure how big that main uh gaining life ability would be. But is that final thing of raising its attack power permanent?
Yes.
Okay.
Players start at 8,000 life points.
Yeah, I've
This has 2,000 attack. You get the permanent attack gain during your opponent's turn. This is probably going to have 8,000 attack.
fun. Uh yeah, I think this is pretty good.
You think it's pretty good?
I don't think it's like the strongest card in the game, but I think it's solid at least.
You want to give a reason as to why you think that, though? Like what it would do.
It's a big stompy creature, and
Mm-hmm.
if you have that big of a creature on the field, like you could just yeah. Actually, I don't know why. It's just in my gut. It's a gut feeling.
Well, that's really unfortunate for you.
It sucks.
That's a big lesson. This card sucks. I've added all this text here for people who want to read it, but basically for you, this card requires so much material to go in that it's basically the last thing you're going to have on your board. And what you want it to do is just survive an entire turn from your opponent, maybe gain some life points, and then go back onto your next turn with an 11k boss that will one-shot them. But that will never happen. Because instead of Link climbing into this monster that has no protection, no
Oh
interaction
yeah,
with your
right. It has
opponent,
no
and
protection.
doesn't do anything
It
at
has
all
no.
other than sit there, you could have just gone into the Link 4 that you used to make this and sit on that. Because that one actually does something on board.
I forgot that it doesn't have protection. Oh no.
The effect of gaining life points per summon is actually slightly useful,
Okay.
but it was only useful on a trap card. No, not a trap card, a hand trap card. A monster you just send to the graveyard during your opponent's turn and it passively applies the effect. That was only useful on a trap monster. And even then, it was only useful in very specific situations in competitive when they were doing games for time. When time would run out, they would have so many life points that the opponent would just lose from that.
Your
That
opponents could lose from you having too much life.
Yes, but it's very specific. In the game, for the highest level play, when you are playing for time advantage, when time is called, the person who has the most life points wins in the
Hmm.
case of a draw.
Okay.
Usually, you would put cards that gain life points in your like side deck. You would have one of them, and at the very end of your combo, you would have something that lets you just gain +1 life point, and you'd win by the time advantage.
Whack.
I should have put that card on the list. Instead, I picked this card because this card was newer and it's funny.
Yeah.
Everyone was like shitting their pants when this was revealed because it's like such a big Timmy card. And then all the competitive players were like, yeah, this card sucks. I don't even need to see it in game. Lol. Anyway, here we go. Another big guy.
The Dragon Undertaker. Okay. 3,000 attack, no defense. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by that battle during the main phase. If a monster your opponent controls is sent to the graveyard, you can activate the following effect based on where this card is at activation. But you can only use each effect once per turn. First effect, hand. Special summon this card. Field. Make one effect monster your opponent controls lose 1500 attack. Then if its attack becomes 0 by this effect, destroy it.
I will say that the hand and field thing, it's not that you can only use one, you can use one and then the other.
Yeah,
It just
yeah,
has to be different activations.
yeah. Okay. Destruct. How good is creature destruction in Yu-Gi-Oh? Because it is fairly everywhere in Magic.
Well, think of any monster on the field. If you have a monster on the field, that's +1 advantage essentially, because that's a monster you can use to go into pretty much any play from your extra deck, or monsters that summon themselves from hand using cards on your field as tribute. Any monster on field is a +1.
Okay.
If you destroy it, you essentially give your opponent a -1.
Okay.
And this card is able to activate that during your opponent's turn.
It's good.
You
Also,
really think so?
yeah. Also because like it's like a level 10, level 11 or something, and like
It's a level 10.
okay,
So yeah.
and also I'm guessing that special summon ability gets around having to tribute for it. Yeah.
Yes. Special summon means you can ignore all tributes.
Okay, and I think that alone is a small plus due to I'm guessing this requires a lot of tributes to summon due to it being a high level creature.
Oh, well, yeah, I suppose so. If you want to normal summon monsters, 4 and below level, you can do it for free.
Yeah.
If you want to summon level 5 and 6, it requires 1 tribute from your field, and then 7 and higher requires 2 tributes each.
Okay. Hmm.
But you really don't have to care about that. You're
Yeah.
just going to special summon this.
Yeah. Um. I guess it's all right. I don't think it's really I don't think it's like stupidly strong, but I don't see it as being awful.
Alright, so you think this card is good?
Yeah. I think it's usable.
How unfortunate! Another one in a row!
No!
Oh no! The only thing this card is good at is being level 10, like you said! This
No!
card has a very major use case issue. The problem is the free special summon
Yeah.
requires your opponent to have a card on field and for it to be sent to the graveyard during the main phase. Not even during the battle phase can this
Oh.
activate.
Oh.
Now, that's not too big of an issue. Like, it's an illusion monster. If you're running illusion monsters, they can't really destroy anything by battle anyway. But the problem is, going first, your opponent won't have cards on the field. So what are you gonna send to their graveyard to summon this? Oh, nothing. It's just a dead card in your hand. Okay. Going second, you could summon this during your opponent's turn, going first, like some kind of hand trap. Then they'll see it on the board and just play around it very easily. They could end with you activating this card, but all of their monsters have 1,600 attack or more, and then the attack reduction will do basically nothing. It is not only very weak in terms of what it can do, it's also very weak in terms of when you can even use it. Both effects. That makes it just completely unable to keep up in the modern day.
Rip.
Big rip.
Yeah.
All right then. Here we go.
Radiant Typhoon Phonics Green Flame. That is a name. And oh look, it's Pyro.
Well, it is a phoenix, or I
Yeah.
guess a phonics.
Phonics. Bonk. Uh in a quick if a quick play spell is activated except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If a quick spell card is activated except during the damage step, you could target up to 2 cards your opponent controls. Shuffle them into your deck. If Mythic Space Typhoon is activated, while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Radiant Typhoon Phonics, the Great Flame, once per turn.
All right, to give you a little
Huh?
context, quick play spell. We have our own spell cards, like regular spell
Yeah.
cards you activate at spell speed 1. That's normal. Quick play spells are like your game's version of instance, but they are slightly different.
Okay.
Basically, you can activate them from hand at any time during your turn, but if you want to activate them during your opponent's turn as a reaction thing, you do have to set them on the field like a trap card.
Okay.
This means that like any of these effects here, to special summon it from hand or shuffle back 2 targets your opponent controls, those can be activated essentially at instant speed. It just requires you to play an instant speed spell.
Okay.
The last effect there, where it summons itself from graveyard, That is Mystical Space Typhoon, which is a quick play spell.
Okay. And it
And
does casting Mystical Space Typhoon to bring it back from the graveyard also activate the other abilities?
oh no, the one where it shuffles 2 cards your opponent controls, that only happens if it is on the field when
Okay.
that card activates.
Okay.
But yeah, you could bring it back with Mystical Space Typhoon with the normal effects of that card, and then this card activates in the graveyard. Then while on the field, you can activate another quick play spell. Do that shuffle too.
Question.
Hmm.
Is Mystical Space Typhoon good?
It's a very classic card. It has not. It has been power crept and yet still sees play to this day. It is very simply just a quick play spell. Target a spell trap on the field, destroy it.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Well, I guess since it uses a a fairly solid spell card in its return from graveyard ability, I guess that means that you don't have to waste a deck space on a horrible spell to bring it back. And and
Yeah, in essence, Mystical Space Typhoon nowadays along the years has usually been running like the side deck. When you're going second, people like to put in their deck to get some spell trap removal if their deck is lacking. In this case, you would just put it in your main deck and it would be fine enough.
yeah, and the shuffling your opponent's cards into your deck, so that seems a little bit funny.
I'm
The
pretty sure you have cards like that in Magic.
like we have similar cards that can steal your opponent's cards, but they just go into exile, which is our version of banishment, and not they aren't shuffled into our decks. Uh, so yeah, that's unique.
It's a form of removal. We actually
Yeah,
have a couple of these cards in Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah. And I'm guessing Radiant Typhoon Phonics is an archetype.
Oh damn, you actually predicted that. Yes, it is.
Is it a good archetype?
Um,
Or is that
that might
spoiler?
give away the answer though.
Okay. Huh.
I'll tell you now, it is an entire archetype around quick play spell cards.
Okay. So I'm guessing you aren't insane enough to put 3 bad cards in a row, and
What, you
also,
think I wouldn't have just made all of them bad?
actually, yeah. Me knowing you, that would be something that you would do is just make all of them horrible except for the last card, which is just like secretly just an instant win card that's actually easy to use. So, hmm, I, I'm guess, I'm guessing that there are a lot of good quick play spells in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, and because of that, I'm guessing this whole archetype is good because of that, and also this is also a solid card too. Locking it
Alright, you
in.
think it's a good card? Final answer?
Locking it in. It's a solid card.
Alright, you finally got one!
from this, from the ashes, this bird will not cease.
I like putting puns at the top of the screen. Anyways, yes, Radiant Typhoon is an entire archetype for quick play spells. I'm quite surprised you managed to pick that up just by this card when
Yeah,
it doesn't even mention that at all.
its name, Radiant Typhoon Phonics, sounds like a name of an archetype. Kind of like how
Good guess there.
kind of like how
Good guess.
it kind of like how Super Heavy Samurai is an archetype.
Okay, yeah.
This sounds like
Yeah.
that.
So yes, the Radiant Typhoon archetype is quite small. They're very simple too. They simply have these low-level monsters that summon themselves out like for free during the first turn, and if your opponent is if your opponent plays first and you're going second, you can summon them relatively easily by using Mystical Space Typhoon. They get all the searches for you, so you could go into the big bird, the big other ones too. There's one that is a search for Mystical Space Typhoon and any other card in the deck, and then there's one that's just straight up a negate, which that one is really good for this deck. This
Yeah.
card is really good though, simply because out of all of them, it's the only one that removes cards from the field, and it
Ah.
has one of the best forms of removal in the entire game.
You just yoink.
Yes, shuffling cards back into the opponent's deck is one of the strongest ways to just straight up remove them, especially in modern day where most cards have like hard once per turns on them. If they activate something and you just shuffle it back into the deck, how are they going to get that back so that they could use it again? Probably not. The other form is banishing face down, which I believe is the strongest, but there's a lot of weird ways to remove cards, so shuffling is
Yeah.
really, really good. This even includes extra deck monsters. It just puts them straight back in the extra deck.
Fun.
And this card doesn't use their own extra deck, funnily enough. This
Your
card is part of the archetype that is more like a mid-range. People like to call it control, but it doesn't want to go on for like 10 turns. It wants to go on for like 5 and 6, and then eventually kills your opponent. It gives them like a little bit of time to repeatedly make the same combo over and over while stopping your opponent from doing their combo over and over until they just die. It's pretty good. It's not been able to top events, but it has been pretty consistently in competitive environments. It does good against rogue decks. Who would have thought? All right, here we go. A trap card.
Kue
Probably one of the most wacky trap cards because you've probably never seen anything like this.
Biko.
Yes.
Special summon this card as an effect monster, a fairy earth level 2 with none stats. It's a nun pizza with left earth. With the following effect, this card is also still a trap. Okay. Once per chain, when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field that targets a card you control as a quick effect, you can set this card in your spell and trap zone, and if you do, negate that opponent's effect. Then if that monster has the highest attack on your opponent's field, return it to the hand. You could only activate one of them per turn.
Yeah, you didn't think I would give you an actual trap card, did you? No, I just gave you a monster disguised as a trap card.
Oh my gosh. This is like just a vehicle. This is basically the closest that you guys have to a vehicle.
Yep.
You guys just lacked vehicles, so you had this. You you guys wanted clown car so bad. You just had, and yes, that is an actual card we have in Magic. It's called
I
clown.
don't disbelieve you. I definitely believe that for a fact.
And I use it in my artifact deck. It is like one of the most stupid cards in the game, but my friends always love it when I bring it out because it's a token spam card. It summons clown robots. So it's a
Well, I mean, what do you think?
so it's a nothing card. And
If you have any questions about the effect, I could give you any answers you need.
so negation is very good in both card games.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I
So
will give you that one, yes. A lot of
yeah,
the modern Yu-Gi-Ohs revolving around negates, yes.
yes, and in Magic it is very annoying. There are cards that where the opponent doesn't need to do anything and they still could could negate your cards, which is just super annoying. Uh And so this being triggered by a negate seems like you would have a lot of opportunities. What? No, no, no. So it is a negate. Sorry, I just had a brain fart there. So that ability is solid at least, and locking it in.
Mm,
Good card.
which will it be?
Good card. Not amazing, but I'm guessing it's like a good like assurance card to have in the deck.
Good card, final answer.
Locking it in.
Oh no! It's not very good, and I tricked you! This is actually the same issue as the dragon guy from before, the illusion monster. The use case for its effect is actually so hyper specific and not useful that you barely ever even get to activate it when you can. In this case, this is a trap card. You have to
Yes.
set it to your field going first and then activate it during your opponent's turn to summon it to the field. That's
Oh.
all right. Trap cards are usually slow, but that's all right. This is an extra negate. However, you could just run literally any other negate and it would probably be better than this card.
Yeah.
Reason why: this has a huge issue where you need to be smart enough to activate this just barely before your opponent is about to activate a monster effect that targets, but not too early to give it away and make it super easy for your opponent to counterplay. Like, if you do it even the slightest bit too early, it will be stopped in an instant. They don't even have to negate it themselves. They could just go, oh, I'm just not going to use this yet. And very easily, they could just run into this and kill it since it has no stats.
Oh yeah.
You need to summon this slightly before. And then, even if your opponent has a card, a monster, on the field already that can target, they could just do anything else. They could activate a spell trap. They could activate a monster effect that doesn't target. They could activate a monster effect that does target, but it comes from the hand, and then they send it to the graveyard, and that still gets around Kubiko. The only thing this card wants to provide you is the chance that this will be useful more than once, and also that sometimes if it somehow negates their boss monster, it removes them from the field, sends it back to the hand. That's never going to happen though. This card is predicted from a mile away, even if you do it like at the last possible second, and it's so easy to play around.
No.
Because I will tell you, if you activate this card to special summon it, you cannot use the negation effect in the same chain. It has to already be summoned on the field to chain the negation of Kubiko. So if you simply run any other negate card, like, say, as simple as what's it called? Judgment, Solemn Judgment, which is just a card that says negate a card your opponent does and spend half your life points. That's way better because then you don't have to set it up and also predict and also have a specific use case when it can happen. Sure, you can only use it once, but it's way better than getting to use it none at all.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Memento tactile combined creation. What?
I could tell you how to pronounce these, but it's way funnier seeing you read them out yourselves.
Okay, it's a thick boy. And how many levels is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's an level 11 creature. Oh boy. Uh, cannot be normal summoned. Of course, must be special summoned by shuffling five other memento monsters with different names from your hand and or graveyard into the deck slash extra deck. While you control no other monsters, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Once per turn, if your opponent activates a card effect, except during the damage step, you can special summon one memento card from memento monster from your hand or graveyard. That last ability does that. It seems counterintuitive due to the first effect of, oh, you don't want cards in on the battlefield because then this would allow it to attack all of your opponent's creatures.
Well, if it's your opponent's turn, you're not attacking, are you?
Oh yeah. Huh.
Also, I want to mention how funny it is that this monster has 5,500, 5,000. That's how much attack that the first monster I would have shown you would have, like, normally.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay, so there's like no protection on this. It's a
Yeah, I've
thick.
noticed that, yes.
It's a thick boy.
Mm-hmm.
It can bring back other memento creatures, but slowly. I do not know how good the memento archetype is.
I will tell you now, since it seems pretty obvious from the card itself, it's a archetype all about the graveyard.
Yeah, it's graveyard shenanigans, and I and I haven't yet to see uh this archetype in play. I do not know if it is good or not. This
And I
is
can't really tell you that, otherwise the big bad of the entire deck would very obviously be good or bad.
okay. So I know that this is like the the big monster in a memento deck. Okay. So, the attacking your opponent's monsters each once seems big, but I'm not sure if I am missing anything that would make this bad.
In essence, our attacking is way stronger than in Magic the Gathering. I probably explained it to you earlier because we get to choose exactly where we target our attacks to.
Yeah.
In this case, it's basically just like, oh, all of your opponent's monsters, I'll just target each one individually and pick them all off.
Okay, then I think that this is a a solid card due to it being like, oh, you're gone. Oh, you're gone. Oh, you're gone. And then there's all of the damage that would then trickle through to your opponent.
Oh, I will say, if monsters are in defense position, you can't
Yeah,
damage
yeah,
over to your opponent.
yeah. I know that.
Okay, good.
But like I'm guessing that your opponent would have at least one or two creatures in attack position because they wouldn't really expect this unless they're like and then plus also I would see just clearing your opponent's board in general would be a good thing to do. So I'll say that this is good.
You think this is a good card?
Yeah, because like clearing your opponent's board is a good thing. They no longer have all the creatures that they spent time setting up. So
You've
is
been
it
guessing good for all of these so far.
okay?
All
I,
right,
I've
well, I'll
got
give it to you. It is actually very good.
I just don't have experience with the modern Yu-Gi-Oh. So my Magic the Gathering wired brain was like, ooh, that's a good effect in Magic.
Well, I guess that was what the first two were for. It was to dampen your expectations. Get you like, oh yeah, these are actually not good enough. Anyway, this card, there's a secret bonus card. It's a trap card in this archetype where specifically with this card, It requires your opponent on their battle phase to attack with all monsters they control into this card, and they cannot leave the battle phase until they've attacked with everything.
Fun.
So essentially, its attack everything once each works on both turns. Especially with the fact that that card, I believe, also gives you more interaction in the fact that it can stop your opponent from, taking this thing out. It's a form of protection, but it's on a trap card outside of the monster itself. All of the mementos are also quite good. They have a starter that can basically just get them +2 because those monsters would then summon from the graveyard, summon themselves from the graveyard too, summon more from the deck, which destroy on the field to summon themselves from the graveyard. They make themselves the 5 monsters in grave really easily to get this card out. It's pretty funny though, because it doesn't look very powerful
Yeah.
by itself, does it?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. That effect to summon a memento monster from hand or graveyard, that's like equally as powerful as attacking all monsters your opponent controls once each. Because you would summon back something like Witch, which gives you advantage and allows you to close out the game next turn if you somehow have your opponent live after the trap card makes them attack into this. It's in that alone is enough to make the game close out, which is absolutely massive. So yes, when you're going second, this card is able to clear the board, and when you're going first, this card is able to set up a win condition for your opponent to die to. So this card is very good in both terms. Let's see what you think about this card then.
Horus, the Black Flame Deity. Horus from the Horus Heresy?
No!
Okay.
I don't think so!
If you control a Horus monster and a King's Sarcophagus, you can reveal this card in your hand and send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Send one card from the field to the graveyard if a face-up Horus monster you control except Horus of the Black Flame Deity, or a face-up King's Sarcophagus you control leaves the battlefield. An opponent card effect except during the damage step. You can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can send all other monsters to the battlefield with the graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. Have you heard of paragraph breaks?
No, we don't do that in Yu-Gi-Oh!
I need to reread that again.
I will at the very least tell you with that first effect, when you reveal this card, you put it back in your hand. If you don't send it to the graveyard with its own effect, you can do it again next turn if you want to.
Ship.
Hmm?
I'm eating some corn chips.
I'm eating some corn chips.
Yeah. I would have some salsa too, but I didn't get any because I didn't want to keep you waiting.
It's alright, it's better this way. You got the pure chip corn to power your brain.
Yeah, I'm sorry if the crunch is coming through on my audio. It's probably like atrociously loud.
No, you got the Discord funny little...
But I'm talking about like on my recording.
Oh. Oh, oof. Well, maybe we know whose recording we should actually use.
It can be touched up in post. That board wipe seems good, but I am too confused to know how to use it. So,
let me make it really simple. So, you have one of these Horus monsters from the archetype, and you also control the King Sarcophagus.
Yeah.
And like your opponent goes and I suppose uses one of those previous cards from before and destroys your King Sarcophagus. This card will then summon itself from hand and explode every monster on the field. except itself. All of them equally get sent to the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
So you can activate it in response to basically your opponent trying to remove your own cards.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Does the King Sarcophagus want to be destroyed?
Let me actually check. I can't remember if it had a graveyard effect. I'm pretty sure it does. No, not specifically, but the rest of the archetype is fine with it.
Okay.
The King Sarcophagus is like the entire point of everything. It allows you to get a bunch of advantage by cycling cards.
Yeah, destroying your own side of the field, that is a normal thing in Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, in Magic, there's a lot of our board wipes are full-on board wipes. Being like single-sided board wipes rarely exist. I don't know how good the whole Horus archetype is. I don't know how good the sarcophagus is. This doesn't really have any protection once it is on the field. But I don't think it needs to have protection once on the field because everything else would be gone. And
That is true.
and then your opponent would be down a destruction card due to them using it on the sarcophagus a few seconds prior. So I I think that this would be good.
You think this card, the horse, the Black Flame Deity, is a good card?
Locking it in.
All right, well, guess what? You are correct. Because of a secret again. The Horus cards, all of the monsters, just summon themselves back from the graveyard as long as you control King Sarcophagus. Just that easily. You can send them all to the graveyard, they'll all just immediately come right back as long as you still have the King Sarcophagus. The entire deck here, in fact, it's more like a supplemental engine to pretty much anything else using graveyard plays. They are all about the just coming back from the graveyard pretty much infinitely. And each of the main deck ones also have a really nice effect whenever one of them is sent to the graveyard. They do something pretty crazy, like just straight up destroy a target, or I believe one of them allows you to flip a monster face down. I could be wrong on that, but they all pretty much have an interaction since they're going to get sent to the graveyard during your opponent's turn anyway. The pop from hand is also pretty useful when you're going second, as you can just reveal this in hand and take out one of your opponent's threats, then try to do the rest of your plays before you have to actually commit to a board clear with this card. It's quite good. It is quite good. The archetype is also quite good. You don't even need Horus for the archetype to work well, but I prefer Horus because he's so good, man. All right, there's the big dragons. We've gone through quite a lot of just gigantic, huge monsters today, and then one thing on a stick.
Yeah.
Let's go for an actual trap card this time, shall we?
Transaction rollback.
Yes.
What is this? A bank?
Well,
Okay. Play half of your life points, then target one normal trap in your opponent's graveyard, except transaction rollback. This effect becomes that card's activation effect. You can banish this card from your graveyard and pay half of your life points, then target a normal trap card in your graveyard except transaction rollback. This effect becomes that card's activation effect. Use only once per turn. Use only one transaction rollback effect once per turn, and only once that turn.
Basically, you can do one, but not the other.
Yeah.
You can either do the one effect when you flip it face up, or the one effect when you banish it from the graveyard.
Being a Magic the Gathering player, I know that the only life point that matters is the last one. So that paying half of your life points, is it half of your current life points or half of your total?
It is indeed half of your current life points. If
Okay.
you have 2 life, it would pay 1.
Okay.
Jimmy.
Are you talking to your cat?
No, my dog.
Ah. Where is my cat? Not here.
They are hiding from transaction rollback.
They are hiding from the bureaucracy. Okay.
I mean, you know, what do you think of the bureaucracy?
Stealing or otherwise borrowing your opponent's trap cards seems funny, but I don't know how useful that would be. So I'm gonna say that this isn't that it is not that good.
Really?
Right? Because, well, yeah, I can see how it could be used, but I don't. But I don't think that there will be a time where you're like, I wish I had transaction and rollback right now.
So you believe this card is not good? The first guess of this kind for the whole video.
Not horrible, but definitely not like deck defining good.
Ooh, that's a real stinger. This one's actually very good. You see here, you never activate the first effect. Ever. You never steal your opponent's trap cards with this. What the heck was that?
YouTube Shorts.
Is that a bee?
YouTube Shorts on my phone.
YouTube Shorts, you troll. You watching YouTube Shorts in the middle of my reveal?
I was while I was coming up to my room to this.
Alright, so this card this card is quite good because that graveyard effect is way more powerful than you believe it to be. There are quite a few powerful trap cards that have a problem of just being slow. You need to set them to the field and then activate them during your opponent's turn. Daruma Karma Cannon is a pretty good example of just like a really powerful. Yes, Daruma Karma Cannon. Very simply, sets everything on the field face down, and anything that it couldn't is sent to the graveyard. Basically negates everything, and anything it couldn't negate, it just sends to the graveyard. That card you could copy with this if you send both of them to the graveyard, which that's what you want to do with transaction rollback. Your trap cards are way better than your opponent's because you built your deck specifically for transaction rollback. But there's something even more sinister with transaction rollback. You've noticed that some of these cards, like Memento, that big guy, had a cost associated with summoning him, where you had to send cards back into your deck to summon him out. Some trap cards are the same way. We have some trap cards that require you to, say, tribute a monster to activate.
Okay.
Now, an important part of this card is it copies the activation effect.
Oh.
You don't need to pay any cost other than this card's life point reduction to activate that effect.
I didn't realize that.
It's a special thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Costs and effects. They're technically two separate parts of the same coin.
Yeah, I didn't
realize that. You can have a card as powerful as what's it called? I should have written down the name of it.
Show it. It's right here. It's right here. It's right there.
It is
right there.
Elemental Burst. Elemental Burst is a trap card that requires you to tribute one of each attribute of monster, that is wind, fire, water, and earth. And then you banish your opponent's entire field. That's really strong, but you're never going to do that. Just send it to the graveyard and activate transaction rollback from their graveyard, and you clear your opponent's field one-sided, banishing them too, including back row. Elemental Burst is a very bad card. It is worth running just for transaction rollback because it is that strong of a combo.
I did not realize that.
Maybe I should have explained it to you, but I thought this was a lot funnier that I trolled you like this.
Right there.
What?
Knowing that, let's go into this card.
What the hell is that?
That is Vidos, if you want to know how to pronounce it.
Vidos, the Eruption Dragon of Extinction. During the main phase, if this card is in your hand, as a quick effect, you can target one card in the field zone. Special summon this card to your opponent's field, and if you do, destroy that card. Then you can add to your hand, or set one Ashened continuous trap from your deck. If this card is set from your opponent's field to your graveyard, you can destroy all monsters on the field. You can only use each effect of the Eruption Dragon once per turn. Huh.
So yes, you summon this to your opponent's field, and then you get to add the card to your hand. The card it destroys is the targeted field zone.
Okay. Giving your opponent a monster.
I will say, you are about to, I told you before that getting a monster is +1. This is essentially giving your your opponent material.
Yeah.
However, the whole sent from your opponent's field to the graveyard, if they try to link this off, that will still activate and blow up the whole field.
Ah, okay.
So they can't just use it as material, because if they do, whatever they summon with it is just gonna explode.
Oh, so it explodes after that thing comes out. Okay.
Yes, it explodes after this has left the field, which would be this would leave the field, and whatever they use to summon with it would happen at the same time. Then on a new chain, the destroy everything effect would activate.
Okay. But your opponent does have a 2800 attack pyro creature now. I don't know why this is a dragon. This should be a dragon, Konami. It says Eruption Dragon in the name, Konami.
Well, it is an archetype of pyro monsters, and they would have a little bit of trouble if one of them, if one of their cards was a pyro card with a dragon.
Oh, it looks like multiple creature types has a benefit. Hey, Konami!
Oh boy.
Giving your opponent a thing seems like a downside, but there is that rare opportunity that you're playing against a deck that wants their stuff in the graveyard, and you just gave them an easy way to then put their stuff into their graveyard.
That is true. Yes, they could just blow up their own field now. Yep. Usually these kinds of decks aren't predicting that your opponent is just going to hand you a free board clear, but
Yeah, but
I guess they could take it if they want to.
Yeah, thank you for this free board clear into oh look, Exodia, the graveyard god of extinction, death, murder. Okay.
Thankfully, we don't have a card that just says, when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you win the game.
Okay, and set one Ashened continuous trap from your deck. I don't know how good the Ashened continuous traps are.
I will tell you, this deck, the spell cards are related to the people that this card is killing in this artwork, and then the trap cards are all about this dragon specifically. So all of the continuous traps, those are for him specifically. They all support him.
Okay. I don't know if this is just a giant like psyop and this is like secretly an awful card, or if this is like like a good card by taking up one of your opponent's creature slots.
You know, the deck that plays this does have a couple ways to destroy this during your opponent's turn.
Then it's good.
Really, just like that, you believe it's good?
Locking it in.
Nope! This card is extinct in terms of playability.
I shouldn't have believed
Alright. You fool, you utter buffoon. Yes, one of the trap cards that you can set with him straight up just has a way to get rid of him on the field, and that guarantees by himself he can essentially board clear himself for the whole thing. However, unfortunately for you, the entire pile of Ashen is really, really bad. They're all really bad. Vidos himself, he requires a field spell to destroy in order to summon. The field spell for this deck requires to be on the field for you to even use the rest of the deck. Notice an issue there.
Yeah.
So when you get the field spell, you have to blow up your own field spell just to summon this guy. And that field spell doesn't recur itself. You have to get it again in another way in order to even summon your other regular monsters. Also, some of those monsters require your opponent to have a big monster on the field in order to do better versions of their effects. So if you don't have Vidos, and you do have the field spell, you can use the monsters, but they will be worse. Then, on top of all of that, their big boss monster is Vados, but he's on your side of the field now. Big whoop, hooray. You use the Vados your opponent has, and monsters that you summon from your main combo, you tribute all of them to fusion summon the big Vidos fusion monster. It triggers Vidos, the effect monster, to explode everything, and also your big fusion monster gets like extra attack, and it's also immune to destruction effects by itself, so it survives the explosion. Now, you have a field of just the fusion monster. That's literally it. All of your other cards had to die for this. And your opponent hopefully didn't have anything protected against destruction effects themselves. Your fusion monster gives you the great benefit of sacrificing one of your own cards on field,
which you don't have
which
anymore.
may I remind you, you had to kill all of your monsters to do this, so it had to be like your field spell or the trap card you just used. And what do you get for this? A quick effect destroy that you can't even activate at any time. It has to specifically be in response to your opponent's card effects. Not even a negate. All of this effort just for one destroy. How nice.
I don't know that much about like the decks in Yu-Gi-Oh, so like all I'm going off is just the one cards that you're showing me, so
I wanted to basically confuse you with this one because it is a monster that does say when it's destroyed, explode the field. However, I thought that you might have had a hint to how truly bad this card specifically is by the fact that it destroys a field spell. I really wanted you to predict that the best thing about this card is just that it destroys a field spell.
I didn't think that it was mandatory, it's saying you can target.
Right, you can means you could activate this effect. It's not that you can summon it. You have to destroy a field spell for you to do the rest of the effect. That's essentially the cost for it. Lol. Yes, if you really wanted to think about this card, though, the best aspect of this card would be as a hand trap. You just use it during the main phase to destroy your opponent's field spell when they're going first. That's the best use of this card. That's how pathetic this card is. It's funny, I've played this deck a couple of times. That is actually the best way to use the card. Because most of the time, my opponent will find a way to actually make the explode self worse for me than for them. Indeed. Here we go.
Candleman.
Finally, A monster that isn't gigantic big beast.
It's oh look, it's Luminaire from Beauty and the Beast.
No, no, it's not.
Okay, it's Litwick from Pokemon.
Okay, I can't escape the allegations.
Okay, it's an illusion. Okay, it's an illusion. Oh boy. Emissary from the House of Wax. It's a bee from Minecraft.
Brother, come on now.
Okay, so he is when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Emissary from the House of Wax once per turn. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by battle. Yep, that is usual for illusions, like you said. At the end of your opponent's battle phase, you can activate this effect. Until the start of your opponent's next battle phase, all attack position monsters your opponents currently control cannot change their positions, nor can be used as material for fusion synchro Xyz or link summons. Also, their effects are negated.
You seem to be quite excited about that last part there.
It does all of that.
Indeed, after the battle phase ends.
Okay. Negation is pretty strong, but it does need to be beat up a little bit before that activates.
Well, you can just set this in defense position, and
Yeah.
since no monster is destroyed, it would just soak
Oh,
up
yeah.
all of it.
Oh yeah.
In essence, I will say.
You will say?
Because if you do summon this in defense position, you don't guarantee your opponent's just gonna hit this. I will say at least, it's not like they're forced to attack this. If they have other targets, they can still attack those.
Yeah.
It's just this one will be safe from the battle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how good this is due to the not forcing your opponents to hit it being, and it needs to be hit for its ability to work. But it is a good ability though.
Well, it doesn't need to be hit. It just needs to, your opponent has ever attacked even one time. Just summon this at the start of the battle phase when they attack one time, and now they could do the rest of the battling. This card is still there. All it has to do is survive to the end of the battle phase, and it will negate every attack position monster.
Oh, it doesn't need to. I thought it needed to be hit to activate that. I misread that.
Oh shit.
Since it doesn't need to actually be in combat for it to do its thing, and it has that protection of can't be destroyed by combat, and that effect is also very good. I would say that it is a good card. Locking it in.
I believe this is a good card.
Yeah, it isn't amazing, but I think it's solid. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong. Yes, in fact, this card is not very good. The issue with it is, once again, a little bit of use case. During the battle phase, nothing's stopping your opponent from clearing your entire field and then finding a unique way to destroy this without destruction of, without just like baiting into it. There's quite a few ways in the battle phase to just have a monster summoned there, and then when there's no fighting going on, it activates its on summon effect, pops this. Also, there'd be something like a quick effect to kill it or anything like that. It could be sent to the graveyard. It's very easy to remove this thing when you reveal it too early. But if you reveal it too late, your opponent has killed you in the battle phase by just simply hitting you. Your field would also already be destroyed anyway, so the only thing this is protecting is itself and maybe negating the monsters that just attacked. Even when it does negate those monsters, and it has that really, really nice effect on top of the negation to prevent them from being used as material, that's only going to be useful if those monsters were, like, there's like 4 of them or 5 of them, and then you have to leave them on the field during your opponent's turn for that to matter. When it goes back to your turn, you have to kill them all the same, otherwise you're not going to win the game, right?
Yeah.
Why should you leave them up for your opponent to even have a chance of using during their next battle phase? This card does not help you win the game, nor does it help you not lose the game. He suffers from both cases. It's very funny. I found him. Whoopsie. I scrolled accidentally while I was moving my hand. That's so funny. I'm glad I scrolled up. Jesus. Here we go. Finally, an extra deck monster.
Cookie? Why is there a star in its name? This isn't JoJo's.
Well, it is now. Get used to it.
No, I'm not gay. Anyway, one tuner plus one non-tuner monster. Okay. For this card synchro summon, you can treat a Link 1 monster you control as any level 1 tuner. You can only use each of the following effects of Cookie Star to Yummy Away once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target up to 2 face-up monsters on the field. Change them to face-down defense position. When your opponent activates a card effect, as a quick effect, you can return this card to the extra deck. Special summon up to 2 yummy monsters from your graveyard.
I will say yes, this archetype does have a yummy Link 1 monster. You can just summon it back with that graveyard effect, with that effect to send it back to the extra deck.
Paragraph breaks. Have you heard of them?
Nope, that's not a thing we do.
Why are there words?
I don't know, if there weren't words, it would be pretty difficult to understand this card.
Turning the face-up monsters face down. That seems vaguely useful. I know that there are some monsters that have abilities that activate when they are turned face up, and I know that you could not target them with this.
I will say what is it? Monsters that are face down can't actually activate any of their effects on field. They are essentially hidden.
I know,
but if they did activate something, you can't just flip them face down to negate it. I will say that. That's how it works.
I'm talking about there being monsters that have abilities that revolve around them turning face up.
Right. Those are like decades old at this point.
I don't know how good the Yummy archetype is, and I've been wrong in the past.
They are an archetype of a bunch of these little cats. You can see them. They're all level 1s. They're all tiny.
Oh, they're all level 1s, okay.
Yeah, all of them are level 1. You could basically synchro this with any of them from the archetype. You just need that and the Link 1.
I don't know how good that Link 1 is. This is harder. This is harder than I thought. Huh.
Thank you for adding the sound effects of this card.
Yes, no cannon sound effects. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say this is bad. I don't know how good the yummy archetype is. Turning the cards face down is good, but I'm guessing your opponent could just turn them face up anyway.
Oh, not during the same turn.
Oh yeah, I know. But I'm talking about later on, they could just turn them back face up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it's bad. Locking it in. Tell me that I'm wrong.
Alright, you've locked in that this is a bad card, but I will ask you one more question.
Yes.
Would you eat the cookie?
Yes, I like cookies.
All right, the card is actually one of the strongest cards in the entire game currently.
Oh, no.
This has ended up consistently in the top 8 of all of the recent Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments since its creation. This is actually the strongest card I've shown you on this entire list so far.
I'm awful
So,
at this.
the Yummy archetype, I think is actually pretty clever. Its Link 1 is able to, at quick effect speed, synchro summon during your opponent's turn. Or at any time, really. But it's not limited to once per turn. So you get the Link 1. It's this little crab crane guy, this blue cat thing here. He picks up the cookie. He picks up the little Yummy to lift them up to become the Synchro monster. Then he drops them to send the Synchro back into the extra deck and summon from the graveyard. You love your token decks in Magic the Gathering. This is our token deck. This is the closest thing we have to tokens that aren't tokens. We do have cards that do summon tokens, but this is the spam. This is all the spam. This deck has like 5 monsters on field at basically all times. It's very, very, very good. Especially the fact that there was a field spell I didn't tell you about that allows them to just have more attack than all of the other monsters shown. It can't beat over the combined creation, but this card right here, I believe it would have, let me do the math, 5 times 300? No, 6, actually 6 times 500, plus 1, 6,000. This card right here would be 4,600.
I don't understand your game at all.
I mean, it's basically infinite material. Just keep picking them up, putting them down. You have a field of 5 monsters to do whatever you want with. All of the little cookies, too, they have effects on summon. The regular main deck version of Cookie, for example, when summoned specifically by a Synchro monster, just targets and destroys an opponent's monster, allowing it to be interaction during your opponent's turn. Alright then. I believe you only got one answer right.
Yeah, I don't understand your game at all.
Which one was it? I think it was... Oh wait, hold on. I think you got 2 right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was these 2. Sorry.
I don't understand.
I shouldn't discredit you. You did get 2 of them right. You did get 2 of them right.
I don't understand your...
Ay. And then in post, we can find out if you did actually... Whoops.
Wait. I saw a shoe. What was that shoe? I saw a shoe.
No, you didn't. It was Cookie, obviously.
No.
After, in post, we can find out if you did predict that the bird was correct, which I think you did, but I can't remember. So
I saw a
did,
shoe. Go forward.
You did get 3 points. All right, fine. There's one more card.
Who wins a victory? What is there? Just a straight up sneaker here. I could get that from Skechers. What?
You weren't supposed to see this, but you had to poke and prod. So go on, read the card.
Equipping monster gets 300 attack and becomes wind. That okay? Why? First off, why? Second.
Shoe. That is the answer.
Shoe. Why? Why? Okay. 300 attack, not that much. I'm gonna go L card.
This card is bad.
Yeah.
Incorrect! This is the strongest card in the game, baby! Yeah! This is so powerful! Yeah! No, this you literally can't even use it in a legal duel. Like, here, look. At the bottom here.
Yeah.
Not for use in sanctioned tournaments.
Yeah.
This card is $250.
Why is it $250?
I do not know the specifics, but I did read up a little bit, the little information that I can get. This card was a Konami promotion with Nike. It's a Nike shoe. It was really funny. It's It's $250 on like third-party websites if you want to get one. In terms of playability, it's you know, it's like if you drew a hand of cards but you subtracted one. So hey, you got it right. Congratulations. It's a shit card. I didn't have any more slides after this. I probably should have put like another joke card after this. But yeah, it's the strongest card in the game. Let's go. Then, as it turns out, sometimes they will Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yes. But will I Yu-Gi-Oh game?
Maybe.